So yeah, let's just start off. I'll just ask Coach first off. We're now 2 days away from the season starting, so overall, Mark, your thoughts on how the 6 weeks have gone and how the team has come together?
Yeah, it's been a long preseason, I think, for us, which we were supposed to open up, I think, a week before last weekend, and the schedule changed a little bit, so that gave us an extra week to prepare, which was really good for us, because even though it's been a long preseason, with so many new players, 17, 18 new players, we did not gel early on in our preseason. So that's a big part of it. We know we had a talented group of players. We just had a little bit of a hard time getting the chemistry right, figuring out exactly what system we need to play to take advantage of their abilities, their personalities, whether it's defending or attacking. So it's taken us a little bit of time. The last 2 weeks, the team has really come together. We're feeling really good about where we are at this point right now, and we're looking forward to having a really good start against Rochester.
Just ask you about the Rochester game. So obviously the defending champions coming in. We probably don't know too much about them at this point. So what's your approach for the team coming into the game?
Yeah, they've made some changes as well. We've heard about some of them. I think they'll still have some of their better players there. They'll be they're usually, Bob Lilly, the coach, always forms a very good squad, and he uses some of the very large players in, and they're very good on set pieces, and they're a very physical team. They will be, and they have this kid Valesky up top, and a few other kids that run really, really well, and they're talented players. So I know a good part of their team, they'll be strong. Right now, we need to really more than focus on them. We need to focus on us getting sharp and getting better, and playing the brand of soccer that we want to play, and that's something we've been working on. Exactly, we're a 1-2 touch team. We move the ball quickly, and that's what we've been really focusing on the whole preseason. And then, so when you're a high possession team and you need to win by out-possessing the other team and getting numbers in the attack, that chemistry is even harder to find that I was talking about. So we are getting it, and we're excited about that. But Rochester will be, very, very strong team. We expect to have a, real battle against them. It's always a battle. It's more of a war sometimes. So it'll be fun.
Just open it up. Anyone got any questions?
Going into the first match at this point, do you already have starting 11 in mind at this point, or are we going right down the wire where there's a few spots that might be a Saturday decision? Yeah, we've had some injuries too, nothing real major, so it's looking at those, seeing if guys are really healthy or not. We think we'll be all pretty much healthy to play the match. But how many minutes can we give guys? So if they're not up to playing 90 minutes, then we need to bring them off the bench, or so there's a lot that goes into it. But we kind of have an idea of who that 11 will be, and then who the next 4, 5, 6 guys in the field are producing right now on the pitch to come off the bench and give us a spark. So we have a pretty good idea at this point.
You talked a little bit about Rochester being a strong team physically. Obviously, they're defending champs too. Going into this season, do you feel that you made enough changes to kind of compete with those type of teams that seemed to give you some trouble last year?
Yeah, I think we competed with them really well last year. If it wasn't for a call here and there, I think we're right in the games with them. So we matched up really well against Rochester, and again, we didn't get blown out of any game. We felt like we were in every game. And so, yeah, we made some changes. We made a lot of changes, as you can see, and we bettered our team. We definitely have a ton more depth than we had last year, so that's going to really be exciting for our coaching staff to kind of look down the bench and feel like, hey, we got 3, 4, 6, maybe 7 guys that can step in and give us a spark, because that's a big part of it. And it's especially early in the season where the guys aren't really match fit, that we'll need to probably make a few more changes than normal than when they're match fit later in the year. So it's important that guys come off the bench, and we're not subbing them because we're nice guys. We're subbing them because they need to come on the pitch and win the game for us, and we think we have some of those players that can do that this year.
In terms of formation, are you kind of thinking of doing the same thing as last year, specifically with the midfield, keeping Kevin on the right? Or?
Yeah, we'll look to keep Kevin on the right. We feel that's his strong suit, but we've changed the system a little bit. We'll go in and out of a few different systems just to confuse the other team, we hope. And we'll defend in the same 8 block that I've always wanted to defend in. I think that's a hard defense to beat, so we'll kind of defend in one system and we'll kind of attack in another system, and depending on the score and the time of the game and all that, we have a tendency to change systems on the fly. So it's really hard to say exactly what system we play because it depends on what point of the game. But typically we're in kind of a 4-3-3 shape a good part of the time.
For the left side where Rob was, I mean, is there like a chemistry like with Kevin and whoever's playing on there? Do you kind of know who's going to slot in there?
Well, yeah, the players are up here, so I don't know how much we can let out of the bag right now. But no, I think they pretty well know. We did our set pieces today with Marshall Hollingsworth from Columbus being on that left sided midfielder position. He brings a really big work rate for us, and yeah, you'll see the guy is just relentless in his play. So we like that. And again, we have guys. We have a lot of guys on this team right now that are fighting for that, that little edge to beat somebody out, which is great for us because they're pushing each other all the time in preseason. And so there's a lot of quality on this team right now.
With new goalkeepers and Willie being the only guy back really along the back line there, is there some apprehension about how they're going to come together their first 90 minutes as a group?
No, actually there's not, because that apprehension was gone about 2 weeks ago. So we definitely had it early on. Guys weren't clicking, and we're feeling things out a little bit. But now we've solidified. They've solidified their positions. They're playing pretty well as a unit. We worked a lot on our shape in the back and how we're going to play defensively and on our press. And so things are coming together that way. We feel pretty confident that will be a little bit more solid in the back this year than we have been. The keepers are, it's great to have Hunter back. We know his ability and his quality. He's a great communicator as well. So I think that's all gelling a little bit. We're pretty pleased. And then we have 2 other keepers that are very good. So again, we have more depth than I believe we had last year. And so, if there's injuries or whatever's happening, I think we feel a lot more comfortable right now of taking a guy that's not getting a lot of minutes and putting him out there. Yeah.
About the goalkeepers, was actually knowing Hunter Gilstrap a big part of why you brought him back instead of just throwing all new goalkeepers in?
Well, I didn't know Hunter all that well, because I wasn't here when he was here. He did train in Charlotte a little bit when I was in Charlotte. In the preseason, in the off season, so I didn't know he's a good keeper. I have played against him with the teams I've coached. He's always done a real good job against us. He even beat us on a free kick that he dropped on, I think it was Fondy's head late in one match here 4 or 5 years ago, and they beat us on that. So yeah, I mean, Hunter's reputation I think precedes him, and there's always a lot of good things I've heard about Hunter in the past. So, we brought him in because he's a good keeper.
Mark, taking a look at the big picture, you came here in December of 2014, and now you've been here for more than a year. This is your 2nd year coming in. Do you feel, what are your expectations for this team, for the franchise?
Yeah, I mean, one of the big goals we're pushing for this year is to get a home playoff game. And do I tell the guys we are going to win the championship? No, because that would be, it's not unrealistic that we can win it, but just to tell the guys we are going to win it I think it's just throwing out false promises. But do we have the quality that we can get on a roll, and if our chemistry builds, can we win this league? Yeah. I mean, that's the way we feel this year. Last year, I really didn't know what to expect, to be honest with you. But now, with our coaching staff and Jason Cutney, forming the team, we spent a lot of months to do this. Are there a number of players that maybe aren't playing up to their capability at this point? Yes. Do we feel they'll get to that, to their potential? Yes. And if we do, and this team gels like we think it could, we could be really, really hard to beat. And I'm feeling pretty confident that we will get there.
And with your experience, is that the formula of success in being with the USL franchise? Is to really kind of get the players you want, and then hopefully by the end of the season, things are really clicking?
Yeah, hopefully before the end of the season. I guess we won't make the playoffs, but yeah, it always, when you build a team, when you bring new players in, it's just going to take time to get them to have any kind of chemistry whatsoever. And we know that, and I've been involved in here for years, so I know, you know, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of communication as well, and diagrams, and just on it goes, and talking to each player. And so we've been doing that, and we feel that it's, again, the last 2 weeks we've really come together. The Akron game, even though we didn't win, we had an own goal. That was just a freak thing that happened. We dominated 70 minutes of that match. Very easily could have walked out of there 3-4-0 loss against Columbus Crew. We played them last weekend up there. We lost 2-0, but dominated the good part of that game. You know, and we defended I wouldn't say dominated, but defended extremely well, because we did not go into our high press. We defended. The guys defended very, very well. A couple little mistakes, but gave them the goals, but we competed extremely well against them. So we're feeling like we're ready to start the season, you know, at this point. But yeah, I think the key is to get your guys on the same page. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have the top 11 players in the league on the field at all times, but you do have to have the group that you have firing on all cylinders, playing together, working for each other. And a big part of this league is just work rate. Is how hard are you going to outwork the other team. They're all technical now. This league has gotten so good, so strong over the last 5, 6, 7 years, that every player that comes in, every player that you sign is going to be a pretty technical player. Hopefully, tactically, they understand the game fairly well, but now can you get them to outwork the other team? Can you get them so coordinated, so together that they're going to outpossess the other team? So those are the things that we work on, and we see it coming, so we're ready to get this thing rolling like yesterday.
After coaching Kevin for a year, how would you say his role has changed now that he's, you know, the captain and kind of the remaining leading scorer after Rob left?
It probably hasn't changed a whole lot, because I think he was kind of an unspoken captain last year, he and Robbie. You know, we had 2 very good captains, but they were also looked up to those 2 guys. They were here. They actually had great seasons, obviously. And so it was kind of a no-brainer that going into this year that Kevin needed to be the leader of this group. He's not only a great player, but he leads by example. The guy trains, you know, as hard as he can every day, and so he's a very, very good leader. So it was kind of an easy decision on our coaching staff part to take Kevin. But it'll change. We want him to be a little bit more vocal. You know, we want him to be a little bit more of a vocal leader out there. But he was a leader last year as well, so we won't get a whole lot of change, I don't think.
Are you guys putting, I don't know, maybe more expectation on him to kind of be a leader goal-scoring wise or offensive wise?
No, I don't think we want to do that to Kevin. We want to put so much pressure on him. He had a fantastic year last year. What we wanted to do last year is, and I mentioned this in the press conference, we wanted to score by committee last year. Well, you know, Robbie and Kevin and Lebo were, you know, the hot players, and we didn't score by committee. We scored by Robbie and then Kevin, and then Lebo, you know, coming right behind. We think we have, you know, a little bit more widespread talent, and like I said, a deeper bench. So we do, the more you can score by committee, because you guys noticed, I'm sure, last year that after, you know, Robbie had 16, 17 goals, they were doubling, they were pressing him, and it was very hard for the last third of the year or so for Robbie to get on track and keep scoring. So scoring by committee, you can't do that. You can't defend 1 or 2 guys and shut them down. So that's what we're really hoping to do this year.